Good evening friends and welcome to traditionella bondedemokratin, where the idea was to have gotten a lot further on this, but as you can see it is the 30th of December of 1979, and the reason for things having gone slightly halted more or less is because of the following very, very critical resource if you intend to do storage. The storage construction. Yes, of any kind, basically. Steel. We are starting to catch up ever so slightly, but if we do have a look here at the domestic production and consumption, you see consumption here of resources this year. Steel, 6,440 tons of steel we've used this year. That is an insane amount, and I don't think that we have paid for more than let's see, how much have we paid for? 6,500, say 6,500, and remember that, keep that in memory there, and see. Steel 40,000. I think that 40,000 is quite acceptable then, in relation to 4 million almost. But yes, you were looking on the weight, and then you went to the other thing. 56 tons. That's a quite okay ratio, I think. Yes, 10%. No, 1%. 1%. Pretty much. Or something close to it. Anyway, I'm a bit, it's taking longer because we have a bit of a backlog of steel, but still it pleases me that we've been able to consume 6,500 tons in 1 year. It's a shame we cannot see the year before and how much. However, we are not without issue. The old faithful here is a bit understaffed, and electricity is not always. But I think I've not had a look. I've been trying to get this done, but this took for ages because we didn't have any steel. And now finally we have this, and we have this. You run out of bitumen. Yes, we're working on it, but you're going to need a bit of asphalt to don't like doing this, but it's you only have one parking space, don't you? Yes, so you cannot park a bitumen truck up in here and have things come in. No, so what we'll do is a bit pragmatic, but a couple of tons, 3 tons of bitumen, and see if that can get us to the point where we get this tank, and then we can start using our own bitumen for the asphalt. Now, Old Faithful is running a bit hard sometimes. She's always been ran very hard, but now we have had a lack of workers due to the catastrophe with the clothing. Yes, but this is our nuclear power plant, and it's actually producing. Yes, it is producing. Only for export at the moment, because I'm not so sure about the reliability, but the ruble account seems quite healthy, and we're gonna need to churn this up like an enormous amount, because I intend to buy licenses to build trains. Yes. And Happy New Year's, and welcome to 1980, the 80s. Yes, I think we may find that the trains I will be building are slightly out of date, but anyway, let's see here what we got. A lot of nuclear fuel. We're exporting like crazy on this line, and the other line would not happen to be complete because, again, the lack of steel. Yes, 61%, 61 tons. Yes, are required to complete the thing. Yes, I'm just double checking. There we go. So it's going to take a while, but it doesn't doesn't seem to be necessary because it's not having that issue anymore, where it is flickering on and off due to that. That was because it was not properly loaded. Now it is properly loaded. It seems to be running fantastically smoothly. Let's see. Export. Last year, rubles. Power, yes, it's quite clear when this here power line new came online, and it's not really that bad. You know what we could do? We could do one domestic line here and hook this up with Old Faithful and leave Old Faithful running. Yes. Yes, we could, but this was supposed to be the backbone of the internal distribution. And yes, it is supposed to be the backbone. So that means a long, very, very long power line. Yes, but if we can just get a little bit more on grips with the steel situation, this will not be a problem. Now, we want to go by Molna. Then again, we don't really need to mess with any of this stuff. We can just leave it. Because there's plenty, we're not anywhere near capacity. And we'll just start feeding this from another direction as well. Oh, that's not nice. Don't like to cross them. That will be confusing, and Oskarshamn is where we're going. I really would like to name these or something, so one would know. Oh, do we really want to mess this up? Well, it's finished. It will be beautiful with a high voltage line going over. Right, you're not wrong. Yes, we'll try and keep to the railroad for a bit, and then we're going to need to do something not so very nice here. But yes, we'll do this. Then we'll come swing around as it was. As it were. It was. That's yes, that's new. Or simply wrong. 150 tons of steel. Indeed. That's all fine. I mean, you're soon done. I could halt. Still need 52 tons of steel. We don't need this. The pipes are already complete, yes. There is a bit of steam coming out of the cooling tower. How many buses do we have here? One. We're gonna need more. Does it have a line? No, it doesn't. View line. But it's pretty clear what it does. Yes, I decided against, but no. This is the, of course, kärnkraftsarbetarna. nuclear power workers. Line. Nuclear power worker line. Very good. And one or two more buses would do very nicely. And now you close that down. Yes, that's okay. Find it. Yes, it may not be completely intuitive for a new user of this interface, but it's gotten quite good. What am I doing? Not that's kärnkraft. Yes. Kärnkraft. Should we have the same buses for all of them? Why not? Yes. Sure. That many really? No. Just because you have managed to gather a bit of money doesn't mean you should spend it all at once. Remember the blueprints for a train. How much are those again? How much are those again? How are you doing, by the way? You're missing gravel. You're kidding. You even have a conveyor hookup for gravel. And it is right next door. You must be joking. Here gravel is arriving, but it did not come from there. No. And it was not out for a refill. Oh, you are still picking up gravel at the processing plant. That is very, very, very unfortunate. Gravel. But you're supposed to do it here. That would be much, much, much better. Now then, are you still need 7 tons of asphalt, and you're not, damn it. Okay, 4 tons more then. How much do you need? Oh, we're doing this bit as well, of course. Yes, and this is actually getting quite ridiculous now. We've been waiting for 1.5 years, I think. 1 year at least. And these people are getting quite uneducated, the ones that have not fled. But these are very happy, in fact. Yes, but 7 children can't go to school because there is no school. It gets me every time, that sort of formulation. It is very funny. There is no school. No. 7 children cannot go to school because there is no school. Okay. Here comes a steel truck. You're one of those shuttling things out to there. Okay. Oh, we're actually building here as well now. Wouldn't you know it? But there are only 2 workers. That's also a problem, and that is a real problem over here in here. Well, here, yes, because I've said this for 8 years now at least. But we are spreading the workforce of Polochevo quite thin. Let's look at this place. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tower blocks, and quite a few actually old village houses, and then Stalinismus, 3 Stalinismuses, and of course the Ferris wheel, the pride of Polochevo. Stalinismus is not that popular though, and we are lacking quite severely in workforce. We're still about 1,200 people shy of what we were at the peak here, and then everywhere was overflowing, and we have had adult children on a regular basis. And at that time, these buses, even though the traffic situation was almost as bad as now, they actually left with quite a few workers. Now they leave with like 11. Yes, and you will get 7, 4, 4. Yes. 4, and so on. It goes in that fashion. And yes, people are walking by here. That's not good. They should stop to work. Should not be out and about for other reasons than to work. Anyway, are we catching up on the steel? I don't really think we are. But we do 51 tons. We are definitely catching up on the steel. I mean, then we could afford to continue. I mean, it will look quite nice with another cooling tower here on the other side. Yes, it will. I also need 150 tons for that power line. That's correct. That is quite important, and such, this power line. And let's see, to get the logistics as efficient as possible, we want to build it from the end closest to the steel. What are you doing? How did you find your way out here? Which construction office are you? Polochevo. Okay, you find your way all the way out here. Well, that's good then, because Polochevo already has a close source as possible to the steel. Yes, it's from there to there, or from there to there. But I think it was the first one, was it not? Yes, this is the advantage when building high voltage lines. You don't need to build roads to each pole, but you know, in reality, you actually have to do that, and it's not unheard of that you then remove the road again. In fact, also in reality, they are placed quite a bit further apart than this, I have to say. Okay, and here you see we are these things are happening. I think that we should get ourselves another harvester or two. Western one, a CL Matador. Certainly is 32, 35, 35, obviously. We have 3, should we have 4? We have, I don't know if we have enough tractors. 3. Well, everything is sown, nothing is harvested. No, something is harvested, but at the moment, a harvester, this will be fine. Apparently the trucks are not here and not keeping up, but here you are. But there is more potential than if we put another truck on it. Yes, I think we should. This is... I know what this is. As if the dollar account was a bit fatter, you know. What does it cost to buy the contract to build my own Peterbilts? This has to be known. Here's the blueprint office for trains. Yes, and the blueprint office for the blueprint office. It's a production line for vehicles. Yes, and I don't think you're that expensive. No, we're quite cheap. It's a simple little thing. Just order the stuff. Basically, when you have to buy, do you have to buy one for each type? That's not nice, you know. Be enough to buy the one and then have all the things. That's not feasible. No. But covered hull. $2 million. Okay then. We're gonna need to pump quite a bit of electricity for that. Yes. And let's see, to actually be able to do some trains, say a diesel locomotive. This one I really like. Yes, but it is old, but it's a good 1.3 million rubles for that. And then we need some wagons, cargo wagon, upper car, 251,000. Okay, we're up to 1.6 million, and we definitely want a open car of some kind. That's now 1.9 million, and tanker definitely 2.4 million. Yes, and that's and a covered car, of course, a box car. So that's $2.7 million rubles or something to get that. And just to check my favorite little locomotive here, $9 million. Are you kidding me? 9 million? How the hell am I supposed to afford that? That's not going to happen. 9 million. That must be some bug or something. Anyway, so I think that we'll go for something cheap and eastern here and build. The CME 3 would be very lovely to have. Yes, it would. Would be very nice. 2 million rubles, that was very expensive. This place, maybe this is a terrible locomotive, but it has good performance figures. Yes, very. It's good power and cheap and as speedy as these things get. I mean, the CME 3 is slower and has less power. And it's much more complicated to build as well. So yes, that might be what we're having, but that's about 1.1 million rubles from here. Indeed. But I think that this power line is going to get done, quicker than you'd thought. There is still 570 workdays missing on the groundworks and 2,068 workdays left for the entire project, and 149 tons of steel. Yes. Anyway, I was getting another vehicle for the grain transport number 2 here. I'm impressed myself that I actually remembered to do what I was doing. So much so that it is slipping my mind right now. Yes, covered up. And either Peterbilt or a Transstop. 17 tons of crops, 32 tons of crops. Maybe that is a bit much. This will do. And I can't afford it. Okay. Then I think with that we know what it's going to be. It is not the most exciting thing in the world, but it will do. There we go. Covered hull. This is so much easier now. Sad leverance, if it would work, because there should be one called sad leverance 2. There isn't. But it should be, it's not Sage Road Cargo Station, it's custom line. Did I not name it? I did not name it. Or I did, but it somehow did not take or not, I don't know. I definitely thought about naming it. Yes, off you go. And that's that. I mean, we're approaching the end of January. No, I played that before. There we go. This is more like it. This is a different type. Oh, and you're going out for work. Very good. The railroad construction office wouldn't happen to be, no, the groundworks are not done yet. You're missing asphalt. You need a hell of a lot of this stuff. Okay, but you now have the asphalt and you're getting mechanical components. Are you also getting steel? Yes, you're getting steel. 11 tons, fantastic. That's all that's required. Perfect. And then what we're going to need then is a... I don't suppose you could add an unfinished... no, of course not. We need a tanker going from the... this is delaying quite a bit. And especially this. But maybe I'd rather pay for this bit. And let it just, I don't know. No, should we buy some more? Yes, we need to get somewhere. Bitumen, 7 tons. Yes, that will allow you to load up, actually, this time. That will do some difference, I think. And now I choose to auto-purchase that continuously. That was not my intent. Clear. There we go. 7 tons is what I meant to buy. And yes, the Peterbilt is heading for this building. Oh, it's a nice yellow one, this. I mean, it is a bit oversized for our roads, maybe. For the humble roads here of the traditional farmers' democracy. But it looks fantastic. Excuse the noise. Right, the power line. You are not done with the groundworks yet, so it's hello. No, quite a bit of concrete and stuff, but you think that this will be done eventually? Yes, of course it will, but may take a little while. And what about you? Yeah, hello. This is a bit annoying. 20 workers and 6 engineers. Very good. Seems to be all we need at the moment. Oh, have you export heavy vehicles, space for vehicles, containers, export? There has been one of these used. This is a negative value, but only 486 rubles. That seems quite cheap to get rid of. The prices. Uranium, used nuclear fuel. 2,690. Yes, that seems quite cheap to get rid of spent nuclear fuel, but maybe no, I'm not sure that it's a good idea to do that. You know, it could be used maybe for some bad purposes. So we'll stash it away over there. That's going to need quite a road. Yes, but it's not going to need to be a quick road. No, but it's either going to be very expensive or take a very long time to build. Because, out here there is nothing. Oh, the game is having a bit of tinnitus, I think. Again, yes, you see, no matter what I do, that sound is still there. That's annoying. We'll turn it down a bit. Yes, out here, and we can also use a bit of music to drown it out. There we go, much better. I mean, here is where we'd have then a complex of road vehicle depots. Of course, there is one issue. If these catch fire out here, I don't have any fire protection. Am I going to have to build a little settlement here to wash over the nuclear fuel? If those catches fire, I don't think that's a good thing. But, there is gravel available. so it's possible to construct things. And there is a road here, actually. It's not so far away, maybe. Let's see. Let's draw it out. We'll start about here. And then we'll do... come on, curve and do nice things for me here. Yes, it's not much of a curve, but it's something. And of course, this allows you to build nice roads, nice looking roads, without the need to use very, very small, short segments. Because if you just drag it like this before, it would result in a terrible looking straight line. Now we have reached the complex. That's 186,000 rubles. No, I need to save. Yes, but it's going to be an enormously long way to go. You're going to need to transport 1,500 tons of gravel. That's not going to happen. I think we could leave the nuclear fuel in at the power plant for now. Or have a storage nearby, maybe. I think it's safe as long as it doesn't catch fire or anything, isn't it? I think so. I don't know. There's really no questions and answers. Vehicle fuel, this is not changed since the first release, I don't think. Citizens' daily life. First, they check to see if the free jobs near their home. If not, they then go to a bus or train platform. Where they wait for anywhere available. Yes, and they will wait for 1 hour, and then they'll go home. As government loyalty. Government loyalty level is currently unused, so we aren't actually watching you at the present. This is prepared for future feature updates such as police or demonstrations. Or are we watching? Yeah. Citizens demand shops. That's fine. It doesn't say much about nuclear industry. In fact, nothing at all. And it's quite obviously written by a different person than who is writing most of the things now. I'm not making judgment on which is better or worse. I'm just making the observation that they are different. Yes, both have their qualities. Definitely. But never mind that. This is getting finished. 235 workdays left. And all the resources that will be needed are available. And this, you're missing steel. Yes, but you're done with the groundworks. That's very good. And that was more concrete arriving. Yes, this is nice that we have concrete so close by. It's just a little bit of a shame that the steel is so very, very far away. But we have quite a bit of open house. So as long as we have steel available at the steel mill, it's not too bad. Speaking of steel, power line, missing gravel, okay. Other power line, no, that looks a bit funny. Missing steel, 49 tons left, okay. We need that, we'd like that so that we can start pumping electricity. Seriously. Yes, 18 megawatts. I mean, we're going to get to see this go to 11 at least. Okay, you're not assigned to construction office. That might mean that out here we have managed to build up a little bit of no steel. No, the steel is being used for the power line. Fine. We'll do with one cooling tower for the moment. We need the resources elsewhere. Are you... yes, now you're very staffed. We could be pulling a lot more. I wonder what happens when you exceed the capacity of the one cooling tower. No, are we doing fine here? Are we doing fine here as well? Yes. Yes, we're doing fine. And are you? Yes, two workers only. That's... we could stand having a bit more. I understand it's much more exciting to work in the power plant. Yes, 309,000. I had the thought, should I upgrade some roads? But we're saving for the trains. Yes. Should we build a railroad construction yard while we're at it? I mean, the people here of Molna, they need something to do. That is correct. They definitely need something to do. I mean, we have this bus platform, 2 workers waiting. Yes, but it has a lot of potential. I don't know, people moving out or no, they're not moving out. It's just that we're not that many of them. Are you done anytime soon? No, you're missing steel as well now. Yes. You? Oh, you're about done. Very good. I need to remember to put the tanker here. And as luck will have it, we have stopped exporting petroleum-based product. Yes. Last year we stopped fuel. We have stopped now, but I didn't realize. I closed something down. That was something. One worker in the oil refinery and one worker in the chemical plant. That's really not cutting it. 221 tons of fuel here. That's really not cutting it. No. We need more workers here. Anyway, we'll have one of these. This one, for example. Yes, you will go. Yes, you're bitumen, so bitumen. So you have to go from here. There's not a lot of it, but sure. Go there and then go up to here. No, not to here. To here. To here? Yes, to here. And here you do this. Oh, you're not finished yet. Thought you would be. 46 workdays left and 2 workers and a crane. Will they do it? I don't know. I don't think so. It's not going quickly. Oh, there's a bus arriving with 4 workers. Or there's a bus coming. Whether it arrives or not may remain to be seen. You still have bitumen. I bought a bit more than I need, perhaps. No workers or mechanism. Come on, 713 rubles worth of work left. Do I need to call in the foreign consultants here? I would really prefer not to. There it is. There's the bus. 276 tons of gravel. Very good. We're going to need it when the railroad construction thing. Large rail construction office, when that's complete, then we're definitely going to need that. And when that is complete, I also need a lot of money to buy rail construction vehicles. They are very, 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 very expensive. That's, yes, they are. Should we? I'm still trying to build stuff out here with the old. It's not auto-finding stuff anymore, but it doesn't have any workers. Okay. I wonder if the people of whatchamacallit, that place, if they're sad or something, because they ought to be growing in population, and they and show up to work in greater numbers. They aren't. Polochevo. 2,274. Yes, we lost a lot of people to the great clothing crisis. Yes, half the population. That tends to have an impact. Yes, it does. No, you do not want to close that down. Which one was it? Was it this one? No. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, it's this one. Oh, there you're done. There you go. You're done. Fantastic. Unload. Wait. Go. I can store this item, but I cannot limit amount, unfortunately, because 1,500 tons may be a bit much. I have out here is not really needed. And what you don't need anything at the moment. You're working. You're constructing. 100 tons of prefab panels. What the hell do you need those for? Building stuff, maybe. Oh, a crane is arriving. Great, that should hurry things along. This seems to be quite a small construction site. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pave the street here. That I'm going to spend a bit of money on, because that will greatly increase the the amount of workers that will walk out here. That is definitely something that we want. Yes, so you're just auto-paving this stuff, but that road here, you have been... you did not get tree. No, this one we're building ourselves. And they're not getting a school until it's done, nor a hospital. And I think that's quite enough for now. It's so expensive, you know. It's like very, very, very expensive. We use a bit of dollars for this then. Yep. By the church and so on here. There are many village houses here. Yes. You have soon spent all the money. Yes, but I'm finished. There really should be a street here somehow connecting through. And yes, hello. I'm afraid no, just in case they do not get relocated in the same village or town. I need all the workers I can have here for the moment. Yes, and this service is getting interrupted momentarily. No, not momentarily, for a moment. Imminent it was rather than momentarily. Yes, and we'll try and get, if we may, please. I think we may actually. Yes, and that bit somehow. Yes, fine. I'll do it. How much is this? 26,000 or 50,000? 50,000 rubles. Okay then. Yes, you see, this was not upgrading. Then it's a lot more expensive because you have to pay for all the gravel as well. No, we'll have a dirt track here. Yes, it's only for fire. There, I think that should have increased something. But I don't suppose you would walk all the way. No, but you... Yes, you will walk to the rail construction office. Very good. And some steel has arrived. They have started with the steel framing. Yes, this also beckons the question: is it necessary to have a fuel depot out here? No. What you should have though is a train diesel station. And you're really going to have it here? We're going to have it here. Yes, but the problem is that we're going to have this will be a challenge to build. Not the train diesel station, but the road connection to it. Because that will be our distribution point for fuel one day, maybe. And we're thinking quite a bit ahead now, maybe. We'll see about that, but anyway. We'll have this. Do we want to leave space for this? Yeah, maybe. Why not? Why? Okay. You're gonna need to get a road. Pop a little road over there somehow. Yes. Well, this is obvious. Then. We'll start with this one. Yes, and building them in as large chunks as possible will, I think, help a bit. Or maybe it won't. But anyway, help with the construction time. I don't know. Up onto that point. Oh, this is not... That's a bit tight. It's way too tight. Unless you want to do this, but you don't. Okay. Yes. Here. Not that close. No, remember that is very short. Have it safe distance out here. Yes. And then a road connecting this. Popping over the rail is the only safe way to do it. With a bridge. Bricks. We have plenty of bricks. We have a very healthy brick industry. So brick bridge is what we're going to have. I think you need to take it up about that tall to make it over the railroad reasonably. Is that really tall enough? No, it's not. Again. Yes. How tall exactly do we have to make this? Because it's starting to look a little bit ridiculous now. No. No. Yes. I mean, bridge building in this game is not the best. You cannot really do beautiful things. This arch is a bit unnecessary, I have to say. Yes, if we're going to do this, let's try and do it as properly as possible. No, not keep it on the level. And if we could fit the railroad in the arch, yes, then you head down again, like that. Yes, and then gravel road connecting to it. Sure. Oh, there's still this bit to do as well. Oh, yes, you can pull a really sharp turn. Very good. Yes. 385 tons of bricks. Missing prefab panels and steel. We have plenty of open house that should be going to get these things for you, and they are. Well, plenty. We have four open house. Perhaps the open house stuff is still very, very far away, and I'm going to use them anyway to bring in steel for the railroad until the railroad is complete. So far that we can bring in steel via the railroad. Yes, and also prefab panels. Same thing, kind of deal. And open house. And I'm afraid it's going to have to be these ones. Yes, if there are not too many, because that may cause severe traffic incidents. You should be off. Yes, you're off to steel window prefab panels factory. Oh right, this needed 100 tons of prefab panels. 100 tons? And 5 tons of boards. Are you done yet? No. There are 3 workers here doing this thing manually, apparently. There wouldn't happen to be... Yes, there are 2 buses coming. But... okay, they haven't been to the bus platform yet. They are here now. Did they get any poor workers? 2. Yes. Excellent. How many people are actually living here? I think it's quite few. Yes, it's very few indeed. But the ones who are living here are quite happy. The problem is that we really need a school in here pretty soon. And we're going to get it as soon as this road, or we're going to start building it as soon as this road is complete. Which will take a few days at current pace, or a few, 3 shifts a day, I don't know. It'll be a while longer. Oh, it has made its first delivery here, that's good. $423 tons of gravel, that's very good. Very good. Maybe out here we could put up a great tower block. Or some Stalinismus maybe. Kindergarten. No. Residential is what you want. Residential. Yes, every time. Every goddamn time. Residential. Stalinismus. Stalinismus. One A. You're straight and such. And pretty small. How many people? 70 workers. It's a bit much, maybe. That's prefab. Oops. That's significant. 210 workers. It's looking quite grim, though. Yes, the Stalinismus 2A, I think it is what it's going to be here. Like one here. And then one right opposite it. Oh. Can't build due to infrastructure. Need flat terrain. Not there you don't, but there you go. Oh, here's an unroaded one of those substations. Oh, and I'm afraid that this house is in the way. No one was living in it. I don't know. I did almost hear a bit of disappointment at the fact that no one was living there. Yes, a little bit, maybe. But not actual disappointment. That's still though. It would not have been. That's something. Yes. But these we should pay for. Yes. And this is not really any rush with this stuff. We don't need workers showing up here. This is more for future use. Come on, are you done yet? 36 workdays remaining. I mean, this is ridiculous, this. Paving roads, it is so slow. I mean, in the time it's taken to build that bit of street, I mean, we built a gravel crusher and a large aggregate storage and an asphalt plant and a concrete plant. Well, you might argue then that, well, yes, you need the asphalt plant first, yes, but before we had the possibility of trucking in asphalt from over in Polochevo. That's not impossible, you know. Yes, it's a bit of a trek, but it's not that bad, really. And I wonder how the hell am I going to get to 2 what it was million rubles? That's pumping electricity, you said. Yes, how are we doing on that front? You're still working on the groundworks for this. 103 work days left though, so you're getting there. And then you will start to need the steel. Wonder if they have managed to... we can see the steam out of the cooling tower. Without any black smokestack here. Very nice. Like it. There you go. Still 37 tons of steel missing. How far have you gotten then? Here you are. Well, here you're doing something. Or is this another one? No, it's the same one. Yes, and of course it goes straight by there and goes down to here. Right. Could we run this a bit higher? It depends on the situation in Old Faithful. Also in Polochevo, as it would happen. Yes, and here is the job. The uranium workers in the area of Atom. Indeed. I think that we're getting to that point now that I'm just spacing out here over all the things, and when we reach that point, I really should say thank you so very much, and so on. Otherwise, it tends to drag out in a slight eternity. That's not what we want, I don't think. There's so much stuff to check up on. Yes, but I can do that myself. Yes. I mean, the next exciting business getting into is getting this complete. Yes, you know what, dear friends? I'll be back when this is complete. Yes, welcome back. Or rather, welcome back, I'm back. Quite a time passed. And this is what happens when you try and build your own roads. You get major traffic incidents. Regrettably. But there's not a lot we can do. Actually, there is a lot we can do about that. For example, such as I did here, was pay for this bit of road. And that seemed to have unclogged it. And you know what? This was actually finished at last. And then I tried my luck at some more. That's not going all that great. And I made myself a little Baileys here, you know. A Bailey ice, Baileys, plenty of generous amount of Baileys, and just a shake or two of milk in it. Yes. Cheers. This is I could drink an unlimited amount straight down of that stuff. That is so good. You know, they say it's a ladies' drink, but I don't care. It doesn't. What does it matter? Or is it a ladies' drink? It's whiskey and cream and chocolate things, and very nice. Maybe it is a little bit sweet, but nevertheless, cheers. Yes, I like it a lot. Oh, now we have a problem here. It's full. Bricks you have, we could not have that many, you know. We had, yes, when this place gets going, we are going to need a lot of these here prefab panels. About the ratio is about need about a third amount or half amount of steel as you do prefab panels, but gravel is not really an issue. No, gravel we have plenty. Steel, however, we do not have plenty, and it is a little bit my fault. As is everything, of course, my responsibility here, because I thought I'd be clever and build one of these buffers here, and I thought I'd be even clever and actually build it. Yes, so the truck started getting steel for this stuff and mechanical components and everything, and you know, it was looking as if it, because we had a lot of quite a bit of steel, 70-80 tons maybe in stock here. So I figured that they'll have time to build this before all the other trucks come in and want their steel. And then I went off and did other things, or whatever I did. Anyway, I forgot about this. Yes, and it turned out that no, the thirst for steel is so great that this was not finished. No, and of course the steel production was halted as this was not completed, and therefore we could not have iron. But once I found it, I built it. The rest, what was left for money, it was not a lot, in fact. No, but it was a little bit of steel that was required. So that's that. And in other news, the second export line here is complete. We are now exporting 18 megawatts here and 18 megawatts here at excellent voltage, stable. As this is something. This the Oskarshamn nuclear power plant. Oskarshamn, yes. Even though there are only 5 workers, the voltage is a bit low actually. There we go. You know, nuclear power plants don't quite work like this. They do produce a quite steady output. It's sort of the thing with them is that they are a bit. There's a bit of a process in getting them both going and stopped or lowered in production. But yes, I suppose it's just a computer game after all. 36 megawatts, and I cannot wait for this domestic line to be completed as well. but it's missing steel, and well, there were several reasons for missing steel. One thing, of course, was the great traffic jam here, but the main thing would have been the problems with the railroad. Railroad? No, the problems with the steel mill. Yes, or the iron conveyor, rather. Steel mill was in excellent working condition from time to time. It's pretty common sight this to only have like a few workers in here. But then again, then after just suddenly a couple of buses arrive, and then another bus even maybe, and then we could have upwards of 70-80 people. Yes, I'm putting quite a high demand on the thing, after all, and yes, my colleague was interfering a bit. Pardon interruption. You can be over here. That's very good. That's your spot, Yes, there you go. Much better. Anyway, we are pushing Old Faithful too hard here. We're not supplying her with enough workers. She can be pushed pretty hard if we just can supply workers, which we cannot. But that's certainly no fault of old Bettan here. No, it's nope. But we can here. Yes, this. We have the first properly signaled bit of railroad, but it is not complete. No, and I don't know how to fix this. These things I cannot build. Because the railroad construction office won't be able to get to them. Should I build one over here, or should I build as of now, not very useful roundabout? Or what should I do? A roundabout is never a bad thing to have, but that would mean cutting this off, and it's finally finished. I could just pay for this stuff, I suppose. Yes, but I'm saving for the blueprints. Blueprints for the things. Yes, for those things. The trains. Yes. How much? 18,000 is not so bad. All of this, 50,000. Yes, fine. I want it completed. Damn it! Now she's attacking the mouse cord again. Just that my finger was in the way. Hello. You have it out here, but preferably not at all. I didn't realize that she was hurting me, and then now she realized, and now she's a bit ashamed. Not that bad. No. Not that bad. It's okay. Yes, but your claw is very, very, yes, if you necessarily must have to do it out. But this is, now you know it's difficult. This, yes, this is a cat that is approaching 20 years of age, that cannot resist biting the crap out of my mouse. But the minute I let go of it, she completely also lets go of it. Yes, but now this is incredible. I have not seen her like this in many years. Now she got herself a bit tangled up here, and we cannot. Cat, we cannot have this. Calm down. What's the matter with you? Yes, calm down. There you go. Now you're going to hit my hand if you do it. Don't do it. Yes, it's fine. Got a bit carried away. Yeah. But she's eyeing it again. I'm sorry. Pardon me here. This is ridiculous. But okay, this bit is completely finished. Oh, how I have longed for this moment that we can signal this up. Yes. Finally. I think that this sort of scheme is what you want. No, the chain signal when and not. Yes, definitely here. Here. And this is this chain. Yes, you must know. But if that is red, yes, if that is red, you should also be red. So, but you really don't put the chain signal there. But it will work. If that is red, you will be red, and you will also be red. Yes. Maybe. Hypothetically. Yes, and out here, we must have a chain signal here. Because it's going into the junction. And here. Yes, and also from the other direction. Here. You cannot place a semaphore here. But you can place it here. Yes. But yes, that is correct. Yes, yes, I want to place a semaphore there. Come on. But that's the wrong way. There you go. Maybe. Yes, that's good. That's long enough to fit the train. Yes, this is not long enough to fit the train. And that's about it, I think. Oh, but here, yeah, it's funny. Here we have, this is a bit tight, you know. There's not enough space here to do a proper job of it. But it will, I think it will work. That's a bit, yes, it won't be enough to queue a train, and enough space to queue a train anyway. So that ought to do it. Red, blue, red, 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 blue. Yes, but if you want to go there, it's red. Okay, fine. Think. And just a bit of gratuitous block here. It's quite grandiose to have these blocks. At this point, we have no trains yet. But still, it's done. It's signaled. It's complete. And so is this bit. So is this bit. Yes, indeed. Very good. We shall have... but I wonder what happens with the construction trains when now that we get the traffic rules and things. Yes. Yes. And these, should I get this involved with this stuff? How far have we gotten in completing? You have done this bit, and you have done here, and you have done. Okay, I can do quite a bit here. Think, but maybe it will interfere with them. Yes, we'll do it when we have the need, when we get a train. But that's 2.7 million rubles. Yes, that's quite a bit of running the power plant there. Yes, it is. But this... Are people getting educated in Hansasino? Kind of. And they are growing slightly in population. I have high hopes of you, Hansasino. Look at the great shopping center you have. We must remember to increase here when the time comes. But that time is 084. People moving in by free will, or is it me? Have I done this? I don't know. Maybe we could get in another one of these little houses here. We shall see. Residential. Mod. Residential. Yes. Well, this is tiny. End cap. Corner building. What if we had one of these, and then one of these, and build it to infrastructure? If we look at it from yes, if we look at it from this direction, yes, there, and another one. End cap, fine, it doesn't matter, I don't think. Maybe they'll have windows that yes. The corner building. Yes, that's what we had at the other end. I should have remembered to have held down the mouse button, not to draw in the mouse, the control button, to not draw in these things. The auto connection thing about jigs, bobs, doohickeys, because now we have to do this. We don't want to be messing about with trying to get a truck and a bus and a thing and a shovel and a bulldozer and whatever it is out here just for a couple of kilograms of gravel. But there we go. That should do it. All the construction officers are already on it. It's going to be a bit interesting to see how long it actually takes. The 31st of May. It's yes, so June. Late May, early June. We started this project. Let's say. Yes, I mean we could continue in this fashion. Around here, maybe. But I think that we should have a bit of a footpath crossing over here. Yes, I mean this is high density living, but they are a bit. It is a different style from everywhere else. Yes. There are 3 people living here. You can get to live here if you want. Much better, much nicer. We shall reuse their footpath here. What happened? Not what I wanted. This is more like we want it. No, I think that we can live with or get a few more houses in here. Songs of Harvesting, end cap. It's the end cap corner building. Row house. Oh right, so this is okay. We should have end row building. Row building. Corner building. End cap. Yes. Do we really want these this close to the church? And maybe we should have a park or imagine at least that there is a park or something like that. Yes, but I'm afraid a bit of this has to go. And that's a nice one, but it will also have to go. All of you will have to go, I'm afraid. Yes. And here we shall try and get a nice little one of these things constructed. End cap or corner building. A corner building. No, end cap, much better. But you must be facing, yes. The windows should preferably be facing outwards. Yes, and now you don't do that anymore. Now you do it again. End cap, corner building, row building. How much space do we have to play with? Quite a bit of space. Now we want these really tightly, snugged up. Yes. And then maybe a different style. Yes, we're soon coming to the end. This is a big one. This does not fit in, I don't think. Big. What was that? I think that we should think about the refrain. It's the chorus. That really does not translate. That one should think about the chorus. Means to be about to end something, or usually in the context of leaving a gathering of some kind. Could we get a parallel? Perhaps it's the one says the encore. Can't one do that? No time for the encore. Yes. No, you want a parallel here. If you could. It's we'd really want this here as well, but that's not going to happen under current circumstances, I'm afraid. But this you need to connect. Otherwise it will be bad for you. Come on, something, please. No, fine. You only get to walk out the other side. It will have to do. Yes, what are you doing now? I'm just clicking and dragging. No. Yes. That was a lot of thinking on the game's part. That's one more thing I want. Bricks, boards, steel. Wouldn't you know it? They want steel. I don't think that we have any. I'm sorry. I'm afraid. 14 tons you have out here. You're lucky. You're very lucky. because others are not as fortunate. Such as, yes, the point where we left off, was at the new rail construction office, which is complete. Oh, some steel has arrived as well. 14, 16 tons. Not a great amount, but something. So we could get started. Wouldn't happen, no. 341,000. It's a good thing I've saved a bit. Yes. Oil. Yeah, okay, you need fuel. Can one load from one of these? Where is the closest fuel? It will be... why are you not working on this? Is a bridge... is a bridge not a road in your world? Maybe it isn't. We shall see. Or it is maybe a bit too far away. I don't know. Yes. Do we want you to auto build other things as well? Well, pretty soon, I'd say. But you are trying. You have been working on this since forever, and you're all missing steel. I mean, this could all be resolved if we could just be a few more workers in the steel mill. Then, regardless of the of certain suboptimum logistical flows here, which is not distributing the resources evenly, we would still have enough to go around for everybody. But only 60 workers, 58 are present at the moment, and at that rate we're not doing great. But this is very good that we got this buffer in, because before it would build up here, and then suddenly it got a great spike in the number of workers, and they would run out and be limited in production. At the same time, of course, the iron mine would be more or less devoid of workers, such as this place, 14. However, the iron mine was almost often completely devoid. Chemical plant, 9 workers. Yes, this place is a bit disappointing. Disappointing, yes. It's because I have one, but I thought I did not add another bus. Wasn't I supposed about to do that, and something... I should have another bus on this. Yes, I think I have even placed one in a depot for the purpose. And it ought to be over. Where are you going? The depot is here. No, there is no bus here. Damn it. Is the new depot done? This is a small distribution office. Didn't I build it... I don't know, other side of town. Yes, it is done. Very good. Then we shall have from out here. Yes, we shall have a little bus. Or not so little, a bus. And you can drive up there. I mean, in the absence of trains to ride with, we have to make do with the buses. For now, anyway. And, yes, let's see. There's a bus. And truck with logs, the old logger truck. Sometime we really should upgrade that to something more modern. But we're not using that much wood, so it's fine. Where are we going again? Mars 305? Yes, it's you. You're not supposed to go. We don't need you to go all the way to... But that's fine. It was so close now. I'm used to having the road vehicles depot so far away. Now, what was it that you were supposed to be doing? Yes, more workers for the petroleum line, of course. Petroleum worker line, even. That one. Go. Let's hope that you get a few. Yes, this one has 64. That's good. It's not that bad, not bad at all. It's just that it's very rare. But I think that we are choking these quite badly at more or less all the time. Oh, you went that way. That's a good thing. But yes, this is not going to be pretty. What did you do? You delivered food for the store. Very nice. I would prefer it if they could keep the amount a bit more, but I suppose it seems to be working. Except when the clothing situation did not work. So I'm trying to let go of that great setback. We are 2,500 now, 600 people more than when that great crisis happened. That ought to have some impact on the worker availability at the bus stops. Yes, this is great. Let's see over at Molna what's going on. Have you gotten all the stuff we need? All but fuel? What didn't I did not get around to that. No, I got caught up in train diesel stations and things. That's all right. That's all right. We can do it now. Yes. Here, Petroleum Central, we have tankers available. Did I already send a tanker out? I honestly have absolute. We don't need this big one. We can have this one. Or this one. Yes, they don't use that much fuel, I don't think. And you. Whoa, hello. From the fuel storage, which is supposed to be not here, again, other side of town. There. Load fuel. And then domestic power line, not yet complete. Yes, because of a lack of steel, wouldn't you know it? Oh, look at this. He's made it all the way here. Good for you, I suppose. Here, unload, go. And that's until we get the train diesel station here, because then he will only have to go ship, like that. Yes, ship is the sound it will make. No conveyor, no pipe. We've done everything that we can for this. Yes, we need this gravel filling up. Great. I have bought one here, but you don't have any fuel. Don't you even have enough fuel to... Yes, you did go out once. I missed it. It's you. I thought you were from the other side. Not that many workers, no. None at the moment. You're doing interesting stuff, I have to say. I have not seen this before. I mean, if you could do this, why not build my junctions. This is very practical. And helpful. Do you have any problems? Yes, you will run out of fuel if you have not already. 172 liters. Fuel is being taken care of. Electrical components we don't need. Meanwhile, though, yes, here's from the other one. We have more things to do for you. I realize it is a bit of a ways to go, but oh, you're doing this. Good. But I cannot do that. No. This, yes, do that as well. Why not? Why don't you go up here? That's even better. Well, that's quite the length. Yes, you're going out again. Now, workers. Do we have any? 3. Yes, I'm starting to think that maybe we should have a bus stop out here. A tiny bus stop, maybe? Would that fit, perhaps? It might. We'll see. Mod, platform station, tiny bus stop tiny, whatever. Yes, you will fit. And have it here if you wouldn't mind fitting on the intersection. I wouldn't mind at all. I think that this, yes, it will glitch in. Yes, and how much does it cost, the tiny bus stop? 1,300 build, or that depends. Oh, I want to get this going. There we have it, and a little bus. You say little? Not sure you mean that, or you know what that means. Yes, there's no fuel, but you're getting fuel. Did I set it going? Did I do anything? I didn't. I only sent it here. That's a start. You also wanted to do this. Go here and go here. But there are no workers waiting. How's the school coming along? It's not. We know it. They're missing steel. People are very happy, but they are uneducated. 5 workers can't work because of low education level. That's terrible. 21, 60, but you have an education. 21. Yes, this is not good. But the older generation has an education, so I don't think hope it is lost quite yet. Although the number, I don't think we're going to have to move some people in to be professors. Yes, and from where should we take them? We might as well move them now. You know, because day 36, you say? That's a healthy amount, and the building is almost full. And that. Here. Bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum. Here is where the button should be that says random, or here somewhere, instead of invite 10 immigrants and such, randomly relocate up to 10 workers into this building. Yes, that would be handy. So I built a couple of other of these Stalinismus things. Are you getting to the point where you're having adult children? No, I don't think so. No. We have plenty of housing available. Yes, well, that was in Hansasino. No. Was it in Sayov? This is not Sayov. Sayov is over here. I think it was in Sayov. No. I'm confused. This is not a rare occurrence. It's not these, because these are the new. These come up quite quickly now, when everything else is already done, you know, and they don't need that much steel, apparently. But you know, the school over in Molna would really, was it in Molna? Might have been. I was preparing for a future. Yes, it was here. We have two of these. Or will have two of these eventually. Hospital is not assigned to construction of this. No, I assigned only this because I wanted it to be done as quickly as possible. But it appears impossible to get done. I suppose you say that the source is without steel. Yes, of course you do. Oh, that for some reason reminds me. I need to have one of these. That ought to do it. That's a good thing that we was reminded for some reason from somewhere. Yes, upbeat. Crops we now have in abundance. That is very good. That feels safe. Here yes, it's growing. We have here we have a lack of trucks, but it doesn't really matter because we have so much now. That is fine. Could probably even ramp up the meat production in the meat industry again, because we have been getting a bit low on this. Not a bit low, but we have decreased. And I think that we're keeping up with demand now, because it isn't decreasing anymore. There are no workers in the livestock farm. Now there are. I think yes, we shall have more. This place really don't need more, because they are really quick. The butchers in there, yes. And the fabric factory is slowly, yes, and the clothing factory is also slowly, but they are getting enough done to keep us going. That is very good. Yes, the clothing situation for the nation is not perfect, but in a city like this one, it's very good. I wish the domestic power line would be complete. It is not. Wouldn't you know it? It's lacking steel. Can I do anything to get more steel, more workers into the steel mill? That is 67. That's not going to cut it at the moment. Or ever, I don't think. Yes, we really don't need this anymore. Yes, that's 11 workers. Great. It's running pretty hot though. Yes, that's because I think it's because of this export thing. This is not. Yes, it is. If we were to do this, 4 megawatts is still running off it. But let's see here. I think that we could actually turn it off. Not going to. But anyway. Yes, that's the source of dollars that we have there. Yes, no, I'm not taking 10 workers from the power plants to the steel mill. No. And at some point, a connection to a high voltage connection directly from the nuclear plant to the NATO border, western border, will be complete. The 28th of June of 1980. What was it that happened on the 1st of June again? The beginning of June. Started something, some project or something, but I was supposed to remember that date for some reason. I cannot at the moment. Yes, more workers for the steel mill. More workers for everything around here, really. There is no quick, well, there is a quick way. That's this button or this button. But no, we're not doing that. That's against the rules. Here, we are developing our own people. But you see, problem. 2 workers without job. 17 workers without job. How is it possible for you to be without job? There is a bus platform here. It comes by like all the time. Yes, now footpaths can have too steep of inclines. Very, very annoying. You cannot change a route like that has been in so long. 3 workers without job. How many? 1 cannot work because there's no kindergarten. 2. Okay. No, there is simply no way to get squeeze anymore out of this unless I cut down on something, such as well, this doesn't have that many workers. Asphalt plant. No. Mine. Well, if I were to turn off the faucet here, but I can't domestically just yet, because this thing is not completed. 107,000. When it is, I can severely decrease the amount of workers in the coal mine. But then, if I'm going to have more workers in the steel mill, then we're going to need more coal again. Oh, crap. We leave it like that for now. And here, no, we already have very, very small amount of people working. Yes, coal, it is keeping up. What isn't keeping up is this. Come on, people. Go to work in the steel mill. It is incredibly important. How much steel have we gone through this year, you think? Domestic use and production and things. Constructions. Steel. 2,818 tons. 1.7 million rubles worth. Okay, that's impressive. Mechanical with concrete. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Anything else here of interest? Vehicle fuel. This here. No. What's this? Consumption of citizens facility. Oh, this is also good. Power. 14,190 megawatts, 25,000 rubles worth. Food, 360 tons. Meat, 80 tons. Clothing, 14.5 tons. Alcohol, 53 tons. That's great. That's all the stuff we eat and consume and nourish us. And this screen, I don't quite understand. Overall, okay, it's not those combined. No, vehicle fuel, 604 tons. Last year, 1160. Okay. Yes, one thing I did, I had another bus to the petroleum worker line. No, and that is not. It might be scavenging a bit workers, I was thinking, but there are no workers here neither, so it's not. It's just not enough of them for what I'm trying to do. You know what we could do to get a real injection? Yes, I know what we could do. First of all, which one is the villager's house? It's that one. But although these are probably not the original villagers anymore, they have been, they are descendants of the original villagers. Be gone, be gone. And then see if we can get a mod. Yes, a mod. And have that as a mod. Yes, residential mod. Modded residential railroad construction. It's in the same place every time, you know. Residential. Yes. No, not here. Here we're going for Stalinismus. What should we call it? Where is it? People's flats. 640 workers. Yes, certainly. Stalinismus. I think hostel. No, not hostel. This one. There's the corner thing here. See if we can slot you in. No. Yes. See, it can be convinced somehow. I forgot. God damn it. Undo. I forgot the entire point. The entire point was to fill this place up to the brim by randomly moving people around. Yes. Where did it go? It's not easy to find. If you... Yes. this, get citizens, yes, and almost maximum. Yes, and you ought to get constructing by your own volition. I should not have to do much about, no, not that bit. Yes. Did you get assigned to construction office? Yes, to 3 of them. You should be done in no time, I would hope. Do you need steel? 10 tons. Damn it. We're not building up anything here. We have 3 trucks at the moment waiting. What do? You're the transport to Beatus, okay? What do you do? Molna, large rail kit, okay, you for that bit. And you are also for Beatus. Well, you know what? Then you can go now. You've had enough. Because I really want the domestic power line to be getting resources. And has no groundworks. Stuff's arriving. Gravel. The first load of gravel has arrived. But you also need concrete and asphalt to do this. Oh, there comes the concrete truck. And always the asphalt is the bothersome bit. But it should be coming. We could get one more here. Or here, maybe even. But here, we could have. I mean, these are not very nice anyway. Yes, this is much quicker and much more satisfying as well. Can't demolish. Some workers are still living here. Relocate them first. Okay. But there are none. Okay. Yes, I read about this. A bug that children can be left behind, and that is what I think has happened. Some children has been left behind. Okay, we shall have to work around it until the children grow up as such. Yes, this is too large. Yes, but anything. That's why it's confusing, because sometimes it changes, you know, the size of this is not going to fit in here. No, it's not. Up here, but that's ridiculous a bit. No. Yes, we're getting into the territory again of just, flying around here and making observations on the state of things. 12 workers in the steel mill, such as this. You're going for that place where that's good, I think. Here, it's not. I would like to see some progress here now on the railway. Enormous progress has been made. And this? Why is this not happening? The source is without steel. The source of workers is empty. Really, has it gotten that bad? Yes, it has. And the school is not getting completed at this rate. We're gonna have to pay for it. And now we're going to have to get some nice educated workers in here. They will come from Hansasino. 37 educated workers. Didn't I do this before? Or I wasn't supposed to, but then I trailed off somewhere, I think. Here. Maybe you should leave some for the nuclear power plant and the university. Yes, 7 ought to do it. Now this will probably overflow quite rapidly, I would think. Although it is a very small town. Are there babies in the kindergarten, you think? Yes, there are. How are they doing? Some maybe not growing up, as we say. Here we are, 21 years old, 21. It's not that bad. They still have a long and prosperous work life ahead of them. Now, what's going on here? Are you working? I think you are, but the amount of workers here are very, very, very small indeed. Yes, but that's fine, and this is also has been progressing. It might be progressing more at some point. This, yes, Vavkavysk, they go all the way out here. I really should get myself another vehicle as well, but that's not going to happen right now because of monetary reasons mostly. Although cheaper options are available. But then again, the real problem is the lack of workers. If we could have more workers, then it would all be fine. We need this bit completed, and this bit, and this, and nothing has happened. Yes, still the same reason that it's always been. There is no steel. Oh, the second cooling tower is completed. Fantastic. Let's have a check with the dosimeter here. Yes, it's fine. Oh, we really need to do something about this soon, I would think. Yes, the spent nuclear fuel. I mean, this smoke coming out of this chimney here, what is that? What is that? Does not appear radioactive. And now it went out. It's not as stable as I would have hoped. Yes, it is. There's an enormous amount of workers in here. And engineers. Okay, so this stuff they are building up. If it's possible, I'm thinking an enormous open storage here and just bunch them in. Right next to the fire station. And everything is storage. Storage is a category. Yes, it is, but where is it? That's a different matter. There it is. Enormous open storage. $2,500. But how many? You know, we need something that can hold vehicles. I think, if it's possible. Not sure. Maybe you need a road vehicle step up, and then I'm going to need a lot of those. But we're trying engineering things. Space for vehicles, big. I'm not so certain that this will work. And just in case it won't, we're going to have ourselves a little road. Yes, get it done. Eventually, and along the road, we'll have road vehicle depots. One, because those I'm fairly certain. If one is a bit lucky, this might work, but this must work. Although they are in an open storage here, but they are vehicles. They honk at you. Yes, do. Domestic power line still missing 107 tons of steel. I mean, there's nothing I can do. Yes, I can ask you to do this, do your work. If you extend the range a bit, or to do it. How much steel is here? You have 77 tons of it. Could ask you to help on the domestic power line. It's because when that project was started, I was under the impression that we still had like hundreds of tons of steel here in this open storage. But we don't anymore. We have used all of it. Oh, there's 17 workers in there and 17 in there. Yes, we're ending very soon. Nuclear fuel in total 3.89 tons. Used nuclear fuel 1.24. But it's really not expensive to get rid of. 3,500 rubles. To just send it to the border. That seems very cheap. Okay, this is it. This is now it. This is going to need here is steel for something. Yes, but as long as these wait until loader things are in here, the construction offices considers this as non-operational and that it cannot deliver steel or provide the resource. And therefore, nothing is happening with anything. And yes, one can fiddle about and send vehicles out and things from here, but they're going to come back soon because they also need a resource. Best thing to do is to just wait it out. At one time or other, enough workers will get in here to get things rolling properly, and maybe it will even be timed such that our construction officers considers this as having or being in possession of a stockpile stock anyway of steel. Yes. Thank you so very much for watching, dear friends. Good night.